by the people, for the people.
Hey, what's up?
That was crazy.
Yes, it was. But I stopped it right before the camera
Yes,
rolled.
you did. Good for you.
Some awesome like
Good
that.
for you. Right.
So we saw a movie. What movie did we see?
Masaan,
Which
which means crematorium.
crematorium.
Aptly titled, I would say.
Yes. And the synopsis was 4 lives kind of meet at the River Ganges.
Right. Ganges.
Ganges and are changed forever. Is that what
Yes.
they said? Was it something like that?
Yes. Yes.
Why don't you tell our friends what happened?
So the lives were Devi, Deepak, Shalu, let's see, Payush was in there.
What?
Shalu. Did I say Shalu? I think I said
did.
Shalu.
Shalu.
So they said 4 lives, but really there were more than 4 lives because Devi's father was also part of this. The little slave boy, Jonta, was part of this.
Yeah.
So it really was
or
more.
Anakin. He was the Indian.
He
Anakin.
really was the Indian version
Right.
of Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace.
That's what reminded me of.
Star Wars Episode
Yes.
1, absolutely. Which would make Devi's father Watto, strangely enough. Anyhow, we're getting a little bit off topic here.
We
So
are.
it was more than 4 lives, but primarily we're speaking of Devi and Payush,
Mm-hmm.
and then Deepak and Shalu. So Devi and Deepak, their
Mm-hmm.
lives are impacted by death. So, in a sense, their lives are always impacted by death because of where they live and
Right.
because of the crematorium.
They work at the crematorium. The family.
Well,
does.
Devi's father
Yes.
does, and then Deepak and his whole family does.
Yes.
Deepak is in love with Shalu, who is a high caste girl, and he is not. And he's
Yes.
afraid to tell her
Yes.
because he believes, what his friends are telling him and what, in general society would dictate is that she's not going to be able to be with him.
Yeah.
But she convinces him that she will be able to have her parents come around if he's able to get a good job.
You would have been high caste. You would have been higher caste than me.
Right. You wouldn't have been
This would have
low
been-
caste,
this-
however.
This was our story, really. I was working at the. If you remember, I was working at the crematorium when we met.
This can't be our
Over
story
at
because
the
I'm still
canals,
alive.
At the canals.
Right. This can't be our story because I'm still alive. I don't think we're giving spoilers because it's a 2-year-old movie, almost a 3-year-old movie now. Obviously, Shalu dies. Her and her family go on a pilgrimage. They're on their way back. Deepak is very excited because she wants to run away with him, and he's in the process of completing school, and he's going to get a good degree and a good job.
Yes, and there's a scene where he kisses her under the tree, or he wants to.
Yes, they
And
kiss.
he yelled, "I got a boner!"
Okay, he didn't say that,
You can
and
tell
this.
that's what was going
okay,
on.
but this will be your last crude comment of this video. No more crude comments.
I have
No,
more.
no more crude
Just
comments.
innuendos.
No more. So he's excited, and then he's awakened one night, and obviously I'm skipping around here because this is not the beginning of the film. He's awakened and basically summoned to go help out at the docks
Yes,
where
it's busy night.
It's very busy. They have a ton of bodies to cremate. And I just knew hers was going to be among them. And of course, he pulls back the sheet because he sees a hand hanging
Yes,
down
that he
with a
recognizes.
familiar ring.
Yes.
And it's Shalu. And so this momentarily derails him from his plans. At the end, we see he comes back around. So now let's go backwards to Devi and Payush. Devi's life is impacted by death, not just because her dad, sells stuff at the crematorium.
Yeah, did you get it? Like he's like the last stop before the crematorium. Like,
Right.
Oh,
Kinda
I
selling
forgot
ritual
to get
items.
this
Right.
thing I need to place on the body. Well,
Right.
I have it here. I mean, that's kind of
Right.
what I took it
Right,
as.
exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
He was gonna last stop. Like,
Right. So, anyhow, so her life is impacted by that, but she is in school and she's friends with a fellow student and she's helping him, and
they get feelings for each other.
they get feelings for each other, and they decide they're going to meet up at a hotel out of town somewhere because they're going to have sex, and this is strictly forbidden in their society.
Did that surprise you that the police were called on that?
It didn't, because if you
Surprised
remember,
me.
and I brought this up to you, when we watched Jab We Met, and that's
It
an
was
older
similar.
movie.
Yeah, it was similar. Right?
Though it was funny, remember there was a time where they checked into a hotel and he was telling her, you have to say you're my wife, because he knows it's not proper for them to be there together. And he also recognizes the hotel that they were at was what we would call in America a no-tell motel, where
I can't believe you just said
where
that.
people are only going to have
Yes,
sex.
to take naps.
Yeah, and so I remembered that from Jab We Met. So when I saw them at the hotel, I was like, oh no, this is not good, because they're not supposed to be doing this.
And there was a police raid in that too. But I thought to myself, if they really want to like go arrest people fornicating, they should come to America. The Indian police would be so busy.
Half the population would be in jail.
Half the population.
Yeah.
They'd be arrested.
In jail.
They'd be
Yeah.
junior high kids, senior
Right.
citizens.
Yes.
We have a town called
Sun City.
and it's out west of us, and it's known for its elderly population.
Yes.
Like it's like a lot of retirement homes.
It was basically constructed to be a place for people to go when they retire.
Yeah, they got golf clubs and restaurants, and you get your
Yeah.
whatever, right?
And most people can only buy a home there if you are
Yes,
older than
we have
55.
laws that you have
Right.
to be a certain age to live there.
Right.
And do you remember when we moved out here and they were all getting arrested because they were getting freaky outside?
Yes,
like at the bus
on the
stop?
park benches.
Yeah, they were screwing, like old people
So
screwing everywhere.
gross.
And
Yeah.
before you start saying, well, Professor, you're old. No, I mean like older than I am.
Yeah,
like the ancients, like somebody who's 65, 70 years old out
Somebody
there.
who probably has great-grandchildren.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, that was gross. So anyhow, back to the movie. So I knew it was coming. I knew that was going to happen. First, let me say, I don't think that people should be having sex before marriage. I don't think people should be having sex with other people other than their spouses. I believe what the Bible says and what it teaches when it says you should have sex with your spouse and only your spouse till death do you part. Period. That's my belief. However, I do believe that this is a moral issue and not a criminal issue. So I don't think it's a good idea to have
the
police
police be
going
arresting
around
people?
arresting people because they're having sex before they get married. So while I think their decision was foolish and wrong, I don't
shouldn't
think
have
it's
been.
criminal.
Yes, I don't-
Right. And so the police bust in on them. And because these particular police are corrupt, they're blackmailing her.
Yes,
and they're
yes.
telling her, they're going to post, they're taking her picture and they're going to post it all online and everybody's going to know she's basically a whore. And meanwhile, how many of those cops do you think are being morally pure?
Udat Punjab. Remember the
Yeah,
cop that was sleeping
exactly,
with the-
exactly,
with the-
exactly.
young
So
girl?
hypocrisy.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
America, we have a phrase which would be it's the pot calling the kettle black. So you can't exactly go around telling people how scummy they are for doing
Yeah, you're
something
doing the
like
same
that
thing.
when you're doing the same thing.
I thought the movie was a good movie overall.
Well, hold on. We didn't even get to Payush.
Well,
He's in the bathroom. He's so freaked out by what's going on, and they're taunting him, the police, and they're like, we're going to tell your dad what's going on. He kills himself. And then this corrupt cop blackmails the girl and her father, telling them you're going to be held responsible for assisting a suicide. So, yeah, then her and her father have to come up with all of this money, like 10 times more in a month than what her dad makes. So, yes, it's a heartbreaking story. And in the end, though she has suffered loss and Deepak has suffered loss, they end up meeting at the end of the film and striking up a conversation on a boat. And you know that
It's gonna be
good
about-
things are
yes,
coming
right.
for the two of
Their
them
lives,
out
their
of the
pain is about-
tragedies.
right.
Because they can both understand the tragedy that the other has gone through.
I liked the little slave boy.
Jota?
Jota. I thought he was a riot listening to him. He was mouthing off to the old man about stuff, and he started making a little extra money on the side, and he went to go watch the
Yes.
the magician. And
Yes.
it was he was hitting
An
that
old
with the-
man realizes I can bet on my slave boy to make some
Yes,
money here
yes,
that I have to pay
right.
to the corrupt cop. And then Jonta almost dies because he finds the ring
Yes.
that Deepak had thrown into the
Yes.
river, and he puts it in his mouth for safekeeping because he doesn't want anyone else to find it. And so the old man, rescues him, basically takes him to the hospital. He's okay. The old man is crushed. He doesn't want him to die. And then the little boy gives him this ring, and the old man realizes, I can use this to finally pay off the corrupt cop. And
it was all kind of intertwined. I mean,
Yes,
you could
exactly.
see all these different
Exactly.
lives touching each other in a way that they're not always aware of.
And this was nominated at the Cannes Film Festival in 2015. So it's an independent film, I believe. And
It was French, wasn't it? A French
it was
film?
French and Indian.
Yeah.
Great film. Really loved it. You didn't like it?
I thought it was predictable. Like,
Well-
I knew what was going on. The way it was they were
Okay,
really
but
much telecasting what they were going
But
to do.
to be
I wanted
fair,
to be surprised. Like,
to
oh,
be
it would've
fair,
been better.
we're only an hour into Diwar. We can already tell what's going to happen. Okay.
we?
Yes, we can.
Can
I
we?
can.
You
I
don't
can.
know that.
I bet you I can. And when we do our movie review, we'll find out. Anyhow, I'm just saying. So maybe parts of it were predictable. And yes, it's true. I knew that Shalu was going to die. I knew that in the end, Deepak and Devi were going to meet.
That's kind of big. I mean, it's like it would have been nice if it was just sprung upon you.
Okay,
like,
so we knew these things were going to happen. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it was still superbly put together. I think it was put together well. It was filmed well. I didn't like the scene at the beginning where they were in the hotel having sex. That was a little more graphic than I liked. Because as you know, I don't like to see that depicted on the screen. So we just fast forwarded that. And I know still that, that by American film standards is
was
very
nothing,
tame.
Yeah. I don't know. I just.
Okay, so what's your final grade?
Why is the camera always acting up?
Why can't you just answer the question?
I'm going to say a B.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to give it an A-.
An
But-
A minus is ridiculous.
No, it was a really good
It
film.
was good.
It was gripping.
It was
It was a
good.
good story. It was very sad. And just to see, the heartbreak that these people went through in their lives, it was so cute to see Deepak wanting to actually talk to Shalu, and he sees her and he wants to send her a friend request on Facebook. Before he can even do that, though, he's just sending her messages and sees her out on the streets and he's afraid to talk to her. And it was just very cute to see all of that and how that played out. Boy, he really almost mucked it up, though, when he started yelling at her when he dropped her off at home that one night. Oh my!
Yes.
He almost really fouled it up for
Yes,
himself.
he did.
So
He did. I thought.
Yeah.
That's a great way not to get a second date.
yeah,
If you're
absolutely.
trying to not get the second date, you almost did.
Yep,
it.
exactly.
You almost did it.
Yes.
So we're going to say B plus then.
I'll
We
give it an A-.
combine- Yeah. Okay.
Okay, if you want to give it a combined B+, I'm
Yeah,
okay
we'll give
with
it a
that.
B plus.
It was
Yeah,
good.
It was all right.
It was good.
Man. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys later.
Bay.